I finally found someone as freaky as me.
Lady Gaga?
Too freaky? Oh, yeah!
Good old Friedberg and Seltzer. You know, those guys are actually getting better. Too bad don't mean a goddamn thing.
How are they getting better? They're making their film shorter?
This ain't no disaster movie, you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's not
you know
that
what?
bad.
There's a few chuckles, but right now, honestly, I want to bang my head up against the wall. And I don't know why.
What solidifies how bad this movie is, though, more than saying it's not as good as the films it's parodying. It's not anywhere near as good as Twilight and New Moon, which are shit.
Yeah, which you know what? That's the funny thing about this movie is that I think I got more laughs out of those original films than I did this one.
We're talking about Aaron Friedberg and Jason Seltzer, or is it the other way around? Like, who gives a fuck, really?
Yeah, who cares?
Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, let me tell you something. These guys are getting a little bit better, but that's like saying, I had a good bowel movement instead of diarrhea. It's still shit at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, these motherfuckers here, I will pay $500 to the Spill member that goes out there and videotapes themselves slapping the shit out these two guys. I'm sick of them. These motherfuckers, how are they getting money, man?
Take a shit on their head.
Yeah.
I'm just this close to saying somebody should kill these motherfuckers because that's the only way they will stop.
You can't say that.
But I can't. I will not wish that upon them. I mean,
these are guys who aren't even trying, and that's what's so insulting and angering about them is that they don't give a shit.
Oh, they're
don't. They're in this for the same audience that goes see Twilight. These people. I'm sorry if you're out there and you like Twilight, but you just don't know any better. Okay? And the audience we were with, who were watching this movie and laughing at it, they didn't know any better.
No, they
this
didn't.
is not funny. There's not a joke in this entire movie that a 13-year-old girl couldn't have come up with themselves while watching Twilight.
It's goddamn Twilight. Yeah. I mean, the movies write the jokes for you.
Yeah, you don't need them to tell you the obvious jokes.
No, they don't need them to tell you the obvious jokes. You don't need some. I mean, really, there's material here that could actually make a great parody.
And that's
but guess who fucks it up?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers here, man. These motherfuckers here.
If you're dying to see this stuff satirized, go get the riff tracks for the movies. They're really funny. They know exactly how to tear these films apart. I bet you anything they came up with this script in a weekend, if that.
I wrote this shit. I wrote this shit when I was 13 years old. I made comic strips with this kind of humor. I'm not kidding you.
Thank God you didn't go nowhere with that.
And nobody gave me a budget for it.
The only thing that they got right is that they managed to find people that looked like the exact same cast from those Twilight films.
That's one of the good things about this film is that they actually went out and got actors who resembled the original actors from the Twilight series. I'm looking at the names right here. It's a girl named Marcelle Barrett who played the Kristen Stewart type character.
Hot. Much hotter than Kristen
Stewart.
Yeah,
and the guy that played Edward is a guy named Matt Lanter who, usually when I picture guys with abs, I don't think they're very funny, but this guy actually made me laugh a little bit in this movie.
I thought he was I hate to say anything is, how can you identify the weak point in this film, but if one of the actors, it was probably him for me. It's like, okay, this guy knows he's in a movie by these guys, and he didn't even seem like he was trying. Everybody else was at least like, maybe this will get me a job somewhere else.
Well, there's things that they do. Like I said, the girl played Kristen Stewart. She got the whole hair flicking thing down and looking all angsty and everything. And then the guy who was playing Edward, he does this thing, and these jokes, really, they last for about 5 minutes at the beginning. You're like, oh, that girl's doing a good Kristen Stewart. That's funny until they keep doing it and it gets old. And the guy who played Edward would do that thing where he just stares and look like he's about on the verge of crying because he doesn't know how to approach Bella, the Bella character.
And you know what? I think they could have easily went to a Twilight convention where they have fans dressing up, and they could have picked the entire cast again. And those unknowns probably would have done the same decent job that this movie did with the actors that it had.
Man, look, what can we tell you about these kind of movies? It's the same fucking complaint we have in every movie. They take every popular trend out there, whether it be something like Facebook or Twitter or whoever the latest performer is, pop performer like Lady Gaga or whatever the popular movie is at the moment. In this movie, they have an Alice in Wonderland reference.
Makes no sense.
They just put it there. Why? Because Alice in Wonderland came out this year, and it was a popular movie.
The one thing I'll say for this movie, I think that made it better than Disaster Movie, which isn't to say much, is that there wasn't as much of that in this as there was in Disaster Movie, which seemed to be made of nothing but pop references and bad ones. And this one, you're like, okay, there was maybe 10 or 15 of those, real direct, and now here's a reference to the Real Housewives of whatever, or, things like this. We're like, what does that have to do with anything? Why did you just said that so your audience can go, oh, I know what what that is?
There's actually a scene in here where they say, hey, look over there. And somebody looks and they're like, no, not over there where they have the cast of Jersey Shore. Yeah. There's no clever lead into that.
Who are they? Oh, those are the Sullens. They're really, really close.
Who's that?
Snooki, JWoww, DJ Polly D.
No, not the douchebags from the Jersey Shore. Him. Really pale dude with big hair and constipated look.
Edward Sullen. He's a complete hottie. But evidently, no one here is worthy.
I know what Jersey Shore is. That made me laugh.
And the thing is, that's all these movies have always been. It's like, all right, what's really popular? Give me a list of 10 things that people are fucking watching or reading right now, and let's just throw them in the movie just in the background so we can have a character go, oh, look over there. I mean, all these movies always seem like just one big fucking costume party.
You can do referential humor. You can do pop culture humor. I mean, look at Scott Pilgrim, which was great at doing that, but everything fit into the goddamn storyline. It made sense in the context of the film. It was just the whole non sequitur, and there it is. There, you saw a reference to something else you fucking idiots actually like.
When they didn't have something to reference, somebody was getting hit in the crotch or bunked on the head.
Or fucking getting a door slammed in their face. Again, when will that fucking go away?
Yeah.
It does not work anymore. No one laughs at that shit.
God damn, put these two motherfuckers in a room of preschool kids and let them have a camera, because their fucking writing is about the same level as that shit.
It is. You know what? The only thing that really kind of made me laugh out loud in this whole fucking movie was, surprise, surprise, a fart joke. I mean, and it honestly got me really laughing, because I was like, fucking A, that's what this movie needs now, because everything else you're doing is so fucking just amateurish, and obviously you're just phoning it in.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
mean,
I can count it.
It's sad. It's
How
really
bad is it when a fart joke is like the highest quality of humor that you have in the film? This movie wasn't even good enough to have puns in it.
It can only get that in the fucking movie poster, the title of the fucking film.
Exactly.
It should have been retitled fucking Vampires Suck Ass, like a lot of ass.
I was prepared to drive away from this movie tonight, stop by Walmart, buy a pistol, and pop both these motherfuckers in their brains.
There you go, talking about killing again.
I want these motherfuckers to never make a movie again. If it takes death, then so be it. Well, I tell you what saved these two from death by my hands. It was I can count. And we always say this all the time. I counted the number of times I laughed in this movie. No, I can count the number of times I laughed in this movie. Three times.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and I can tell you what they were.
One real laugh and two chuckles.
Yeah. Well, that was three. No, there were three real laughs to me. And see, this is how they get me. They are insidious. These men here. I'm telling you, Friedberg and Seltzer are evil, because I hate these movies. I hate them. But there will always be one laugh that will stick with me that keeps making me laugh. And not for just one day. I laugh for like several days from that one or two stupid
that one
things.
Little scene. And that's the thing. They're in the theater fucking hearing you laugh, writing that shit down, thinking, all right, you know what? That door getting slammed that dude's face again, that shit is still working.
Well, I'll tell you what it was in this movie. It was this. And it's stupid shit. It was, one, the fart joke, and the reason why I laughed at that is because it was something that I always thought would happen in the original Twilight movies. Two, it was a squirrel. It was a puppet squirrel in this, and in the last movie it was puppet chipmunks. So maybe these guys should make puppet rodent movies.
Which is, you know what, don't give them any ideas, because you know what, they'll find a way to fuck that up too.
And it was one more. It was a wheelchair joke, and I hate to laugh at the handicap, but there was a wheelchair joke in
the
this.
handicap. It was like one of those that was so ridiculous that you couldn't help but just throw your hands up.
If I was laughing at anything they did, I was laughing at the handicap. These two mentally handicapped sons of bitches right here. After what 4 movies that I've seen from these bastards right here,
I think it's probably more than that.
What the fuck can I tell you? Man, fuck them,
they're the Gordon Gekko of Hollywood. They're just like, greed is good. What else do you need? You don't need quality. People are sheep. You can put anything on it as long as they recognize it, they'll embrace it. And that's what's going on here. It's just that. You're just like, I recognize these things. Ha 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 ha.
Now, I'm doing a lot of ranting here about Friedberg and Seltzer, but let me take a serious moment to explain why, outside of the obvious, I'm really bothered by these films. Yes, We all know a lot of movies put aside the more artistic aspects of filmmaking to solely make a profit. We're not naive. But the films that these two directors make are so blatant at being nothing more than a juvenile finger pointing at an image or mention of a popular trend that, to me, they seem exploitive of a young culture raised to have an ever-decreasing attention span thanks to the internet and channel surfing. And this may sound a little crazy, but I think it shows a slight de-evolution in what people will accept